What steps can New London take to mitigate the effects of climate change?
Well, I think to actually piggyback on the last question, first and foremost is to not have garbage all over the street. We do a horrible job as a city as a whole by having our public works department be absolutely devastated over the last decade, since beginning with the Finizio administration, really. We've had less and less and less folks to take care of the streets, take care of our parks, take care of everything. I don't think anybody's going to argue with me on this one, at least. The litter is really contributing towards that. We have an incredible amount of old machinery, putting things out into the environment. We have a responsibility, I believe, as a port city as well, to be having some say in what is happening within that industry. The types of vehicles that are coming in, just a little bit of a finger on the pulse of that industry as well, and the emissions that are happening as a result of the heavy equipment, the heavy machinery that's coming in and out of those ports. Thank you.
Mr. Clouet, you have 90 seconds.
Thank you. One of the things that I think is most important in terms of considering climate change in New London is looking towards the youth. So I'm very glad that Hearing Your Voices is here playing an important role today, because you are going to be living with this for many decades ahead. So we need to organize ourselves in a way that seriously includes the voices of youth, and also takes advantage of the great organizations we already have here, like FRESH, like Friends of Bates Woods, like the youth voices. We need to make sure that we're building more garden spaces. We need to make sure that we're building more open spaces, and that is all possible. And there are already things underway, so it's not like a new invention. People are already doing it. We need to support that and make sure it happens, and then look into plans that look at how we use electricity and how that's going to be a big issue. Electricity is going to be a big issue in every region, including this one, where more and more electricity is going to be used. How are we going to handle that as a community? That's where the community has to, we need to be meeting with community members and scientists and activists to talk about how we can make it better for the youth when they're old folks, that they're living in a safe and healthy place. But I would start with open spaces, garden spaces, and make sure that those are things that we can actually do without huge expense, and will make a difference in the lives of people in New London and the climate. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Carter? You have 30 seconds.
Thank you. I think that my constituents here have pretty much covered how I feel about the green spaces and fresh and gardening and our youth. I probably won't be around when they're out here dealing with these problems, but I really feel like the emissions problem, I follow behind this truck coming down the street, and then all this black smoke coming out. We have to do more about emissions, putting that stuff in the atmosphere. I don't feel like we as a whole, as a community, can make a tremendous impact, but we can do our part.
And Ms. Garland, you have 30 seconds, please.
Thank you. Another thing I would like to add is the disconcerting amount of trees I see cut down in the city. It happens in other communities as well, but in New London, where we have so much blacktop and we are very, very limited in our space in general, but in particular our green space, to see what appears to most of us to be very healthy trees cut down, I think we really need to look at how and why that's being done and limit that. That is certainly a contributor, is reducing the number of trees, so we need to look at stopping that and maybe planting some more.
All right, as a Green Party guy, I got to use my 30 seconds here, I think. I agree with you about the trees. I'm a member of New London Trees, and it's very important, so thank you for mentioning that. I also think solarizing is very important, and people are scared of scams, and I get it, because you don't know which company to trust. I use Trinity, and I pay $0 for my Eversource bill. For a long time, I paid $0. When I was at my last house, I paid $0, and my bill to pay off my solar panels is way less than my electric bill would be. So we should solarize, but we need to educate as well. Thank you.